Welcome back to Let the Quran Speak. It's the 10th anniversary of Facebook, and more people are on it than ever before. More Americans check Facebook daily than read the Bible or any other holy book. Is Facebook a threat to religion? Is it at all possible for us to harness the power of Facebook to strengthen and celebrate our faith? Dr. Shabir Ali joins me to discuss what social media can do for religion. Now, Dr. Shabir Ali, you recently joined Facebook yourself, so I'm sure you have insights to share on what we can do with Facebook.
Yes, I recently set up a profile, and that has harnessed for me many friends, and I'm able to now send out regular messages. Facebook asks you what's on your mind, and that encourages you to just jot down a quick note on what you're thinking at the moment. So it could be something I've just simply been researching, something that I've heard about in the news that got me thinking, and I want to share these thoughts with my friends. Well, that gives us the great opportunity to share the message of Islam with people in general, and the message about God and about belief in the life hereafter more generally. So Facebook can actually be used for good. A recent study has shown, as you pointed out, that more people are reading Facebook than holy books. Well, why
Do you
not?
find that troubling?
Well, no, because it just tells us where the thinking is at, and how people are modeling their lifestyles, and where the message needs to go to get to people. So if that's where people are, well, that's where the message has to go to find them.
So there's opportunity there.
Yeah, there's opportunity, right? Not to badger people, but to give them what they need, but through the media that they're accustomed to using. So if they're there on Facebook and they're not reading the scriptures, well, is it because they don't want to read scripture? No, it's because there is this new phenomenon that, things with lights and things that, lights and sounds are always going to captivate people, and that's what these modern media are about. Things that are in your hand and with you all of the time, calling for your attention, giving a beep, which the scriptures don't do. So the solution for this is to bring the scripture to Facebook, bring the book to Facebook.
But do you think you lose something of the scripture when you do that, when you make it beep, when you make it, light it up?
Well, something from the scripture is always, in a sense, lost. If we think of the original scripture, we believe, for example, that the Quran is a revelation from God, and that revelation comes from the mother book, which is in heaven. And we believe not only the Quran, but other scriptures, the Torah, the Gospel, the Psalms of David, they've all come from the same mother book. And whatever scripture God has revealed to prophets over time that people continue to cherish, these all owe their origins in that mother book. But when we read the earthly representation from that mother book, it's not the same as looking into the mother book itself. And so we have the message being placed in a way that will be accessible to human beings. Instead of God calling up everyone to say, come up here and read the scripture and know how to live your life, he has condescended to bring the scripture to us. And in a similar way, we should bring the scripture to where people are, where they're at. And yes, it will always involve some new aspect or new dimension to things, but it doesn't always have to be thought about in negative terms. It could be positive in that if people were reading the pages of a book and it doesn't captivate their attention, then what about putting a verse on Facebook one day and it captures everyone's attention, and then the next day you give them another verse. So they're still reading the scripture, they're just reading it in a different way. And yes, on Facebook they'll be distracted by all of the things, some of which are not conducive to religion. But at the same time, they may be taking the scriptures themselves very seriously, even within that medium. And those who want God and want good things and want scripture, but are there anyhow on Facebook for other reasons, will find the introduction of scripture in that context to be like a breath of fresh air.
Now, Facebook encourages decentralization, it encourages participation. Do you think that could do anything for religion, either negatively and positively? I mean, for example, as you mentioned, you put out a Quranic verse. Random people could comment on the verse and say, I don't believe this, or I believe this, or I think it should mean that, or no, it actually means that. right? So it's a very different Islam than we've expected in the past.
Well, that's true. At the same time, the positive aspect of this is that people are involving themselves in this whole discussion about the verses, and it becomes more meaningful to them. I recall seeing a sign placed in front of a high school in Toronto, and the sign read as follows: "Tell me, I will forget. Show me, I will remember. Involve me, I will understand." So the fact that people are involved with the discussion about what the verses mean gets them personally now attached to the meaning of the verse. Even it's better that they themselves say it, and then it's confirmed through a discussion that, yeah, this is what it actually means. So there's a positive side to that. The negative side, of course, is that people may run off with on school type of interpretation. It may strike someone's fancy to make the verse mean that, and it may not have any real firm basis in Islamic tradition, or sometimes even in the Arabic language. So it is important that scholars and teachers be there as well to help people to not to school them in the same way as though they were in a classroom, but to provide the loving help when it is needed, so that people do not run away with misunderstandings unnecessarily.
All right, we'll leave it at that. Thank you for your time, Brother Shabir.
You're welcome.
We'll take a break. When we return, we will answer questions we received from you, our viewers.